truly terrified the ancients when they gazed upon the boundless blue horizon. It was not the storm, nor the distance, it was the crushing weight of the unknown. Today we open a portal to a world erased from the face of the earth, yet never fully extinguished. Beyond sunlight, under the monstrous pressure of the abyss, lies the cemetery of the greatest civilization in history, Atlantis. But this is not a tale of golden spires and philosophers. This is a journey into the Sunken Bestiary. For when the city fell, it did not fall alone. In the darkness, something changed. Life adapted, it became silent, bioluminescent, and frighteningly ancient. As we cross the threshold, you will feel the temperature drop. The air grows heavy, tasting of old electricity and salt. You are now miles beneath the waves. Look ahead. Do you see that rhythmic, pulsating light within the ruins of the Grand Plaza? That is not a lamp. That is our first guide. We descend slowly towards the main gates of Atlantis. Once these titanic arches of white stone were a symbol of power, traversed by triumphal processions. Now they are but a skeleton of former glory encrusted with black coral. Yet guardians remain here, the Sentinels of the abyss. Once they were Poseidon's elite guard, humanity's finest warriors. But 10,000 years in the dark have rewritten their biology at the deepest level. Look upon them. These beings no longer resemble creatures of flesh and blood. Their bodies have become nearly invisible in the water column. Their skin has transformed into translucent deep-sea glass, revealing the intricate weave of their nervous systems. Peer at their chests. Do you see that glow? That is their heartbeat. It is slow, 1 beat per minute. Their nervous systems emit a cold, rhythmic, violet light pulsing in sync with the ocean currents. They have no eyes. In a world of eternal gloom, sight became a burden, consuming too much energy. Evolution replaced it with something more perfect. Their entire skin is sheathed in millions of microscopic receptors. They sense the vibration of your heartbeat from hundreds of meters away. To them, you are not an image. You are a rhythm. You are the vibration of life in the dead city. They stand in absolute stillness. You could swim a centimeter from their faces, and they would not stir. In their clawed hands, they hold 3-meter-long spears of Orichalcum. This legendary metal knows no corrosion. If you listen closely, you will hear a faint, barely perceptible hum. The spears vibrating at the frequency of the earth, warning the guards of every tectonic plate's shift. But be cautious. The Sentinels are creatures of stillness, not of peace. If you show fear, if your pulse quickens and disrupts the current's harmony, the violet glow of their bodies will instantly flare into a blinding, furious crimson. It is the only alarm they know. In that moment, the ancient warriors awaken. For them, time stopped the very second the first torrent of water breached the city's dams. They do not know their world is dead. They still guard the passages to treasuries long turned to dust. They are the eternal prisoners of their duty, locked within crystalline bodies at the bottom of the world. Now we leave the central plazas and move towards the outskirts, where the city walls crumble into the Great Trench, a bottomless chasm plunging into the very heart of the planet. Here the water seems blacker, the silence more profound. It is here, in this void, that the true masters of Atlantis glide, the collectors of echoes. Do not call them monsters, though their dimensions inspire a primal dread. Imagine a being whose shadow could engulf an entire city block. Its body is long and sinuous, sheathed in iridescent scales that ignite under your light in a million hues, from midnight indigo to quicksilver mercury. The Leviathans possess no fins in the conventional sense. Instead, hundreds, thousands of long, slender filaments grow from their forms. They resemble silken threads or weeping willow branches, endlessly trailing in the currents. These filaments are their primary sense organs. The Leviathans are living collectors of echoes. Observe as one drifts slowly along a half-collapsed residential spire. It is not seeking prey. With its sensitive threads, it caresses the walls, absorbing residual energy. Atlantis was saturated with magic and emotion, and these imprints are still held within the stones. The Leviathans feed on these memories. They absorb fragments of ancient songs, echoes of children's laughter, whispers of prayer. They are living libraries of pain and joy. When a Leviathan glides past you, you will feel it physically. A low-frequency hum will begin to resonate in your chest, your teeth, your bones. This is not sound, it is a broadcast of the past. For a moment you might see the city as it was, bathed in sunlight, alive, vibrant. This is a dangerous gift. Atlantean scholars called it the call of the blue abyss. Many unwitting witnesses of these beings have fallen into a trance, losing their grip on reality. They would simply remove their breathing masks, yearning to dissolve into these beautiful visions and become part of that grand memory. The Leviathans are the most peaceful creatures in the ocean, yet their proximity is fatal to the human mind. They carry the burden of 10,000 years of history, and its weight is too great for us. We are but a moment in their endless meditation. We leave the residential quarters and descend into the city's inner sanctums. Here, behind massive doors that once opened only to the snap of a high aristocrat's fingers, time is frozen in its strangest manifestation. Within these hermetic halls, where bubbles of ancient stale air remain trapped under domes, you will hear sounds that should not exist at such depths. The heavy, rhythmic clang of metal on stone, the muffled hiss of steam. These are the Orichalcum Colossi. They are not living beings, yet not mere machines. In Atlantis, the line between magic and engineering was erased. These 3-meter-tall giants are forged from the legendary red metal, impervious to time. Their joints are complex hydraulic systems powered by pressure differentials and alchemical oils. Within each colossus beats a small mechanical heart, driven by the energy of decaying crystals. Observe their work. These mechanisms were created to serve, to build, and to maintain the Empire's capital in flawless order, and they have not stopped. 10,000 years after the cataclysm, with their creators long turned to coral dust, the Colossi continue to execute their final protocols. They cannot swim. They move across the seabed with slow tectonic steps. Each footfall sends a micro-tremor through the earth, audible for miles. If you peer into the hall of the Great Library, you will see a colossus carefully shifting the fragments of stone tablets, attempting to arrange them in perfect order. In the main temple, another giant endlessly polishes the altar of a god whose name has been forgotten, even by the ocean's most ancient creatures. There's something profoundly tragic about them. They have no faces, only smooth helms engraved with glowing runes of identification. They possess no consciousness to understand the futility of their labor. They are the eternal caretakers of a graveyard. If you stand in their path, they will show no aggression. A colossus will simply carefully move you aside like an obstructing branch or debris and resume its endless, hopeless work of restoring a city that will never rise again. But not all in Atlantis breathes with stillness and sorrow. We are heading to the former royal gardens. Once these were paradisiacal places of exotic flowers and songbirds. Now they are dense forests of mutated kelp and black sea lilies, and it is here, within these writhing shadows, that the Sirens Brood lies in wait. Forget the beautiful maidens of Greek myth. The true Sirens of Atlantis are nightmares born of absolute darkness. They are the predators of the void. Their bodies are pale, elongated, and impossibly supple, capable of slipping through the narrowest rock crevices. Their skin lacks scales. To the touch it resembles cold, wet silk. The sirens have no human faces. Their heads are elongated, and in place of a mouth, rows of fine, needle-like, transparent teeth. But their most terrible weapon is not their teeth. It is the bioluminescent lure growing directly from their foreheads, akin to the lantern of an anglerfish. This lure is capable of something incredible. It projects not just light, but hallucinations. When a siren hunts, it tunes the frequency of its glow to act directly upon your brain. In this icy water, you will suddenly feel warmth. You will see the face of a person you once loved and lost. You will hear their voice calling to you from the depths of a coral cave. It feels so real that your hand will reach on its own for your helmet seal to breathe in that phantom air of home. The sirens do not sing with their throats. Their song is a series of clicks and ultrasonic whistles that paralyze your nervous system. You stand motionless, mesmerized by the vision, while pale shadows slowly close in around you. Their fingers tipped with bone needles brush gently against your skin before delivering the final strike. They are not evil in a human sense, they have simply adapted to the death of this world. In a city where life has vanished, they have learned to turn your deepest yearnings into the perfect trap. Now, look upwards. Above the ruins where the transparent domes of the great observatories once soared, drift the most ephemeral beings of Atlantis, the Ethereal Stingrays. They resemble living scraps of the aurora borealis, cast into the water. Their bodies possess almost no density. They are composed of pure energy and soft, luminescent matter. With a wingspan of 10 to 15 meters, they do not swim using muscles. They glide along the planet's invisible magnetic lines. In the height of Atlantis, these rays were considered sacred. It was said they were the souls of great scientists who refused to leave their laboratories even after death. Behind each ray streams a long shimmering trail of pollen, microscopic particles of magical crystals they gather from the ruins. Should such a ray pass directly above your head, you will experience a strange effect. Your perception of time will distort. Past events of your life will flash before your eyes with incredible clarity, yet devoid of pain. The rays act as living purifiers of memory. They absorb heavy, dark thoughts, leaving behind an inexplicable sense of lightness. They are the only beings here that remain connected to the surface. Sometimes, on clear nights when the moon is at its zenith, the ethereal stingrays ascend to the very boundary of water and air, creating a mysterious glow on the ocean surface that sailors mistake for the lights of phantom ships. They are the bridge between our world and this abyss, the final sparks of a lost grandeur refusing to be extinguished in the icy water. Understood, the final chord of our descent, We are heading into the very heart of Atlantis, where myth meets eternity. This is the longest and most emotional segment, designed to leave the viewer in a state of profound contemplation. We leave the gardens and observatories to enter the center of the circle. Here rises the Citadel, a massive structure that neither time nor the colossal pressure of the ocean could destroy. The walls here are inlaid with black basalt and threaded with veins of pure gold. Inside in the main throne hall, the lights of our lamps are unnecessary. The hall is bathed in a soft, pulsating amber glow. At its center, upon a dais, rests what was once a man. He is called the Sleeping Regent. This is not merely a ruler. In the final hours of Atlantis, when it became clear the catastrophe was inevitable, the city's supreme priest and sovereign performed a last, desperate act of self-sacrifice. He willingly fused his consciousness, his flesh, and his soul with the Great Crystal, the heart of the Empire's entire energy system. Look upon him. His body no longer belongs to human anatomy. It has become part of the throne, slowly merging with the stone. Along his arms and chest pulse veins of living orichalcum, pumping liquid light instead of blood. His breath is not the inhale and exhale of lungs. It is the very movement of the world ocean. When he inhales, the tides begin on the surface. When he exhales, they recede. The Sleeping Regent is a living processor, holding the remnants of Atlantis from complete dissolution. His mind is simultaneously everywhere. He hears the steps of the Colossi in the libraries, feels the vibrations of the Sentinels at the gates, and listens to the songs of the Leviathans in the rifts. He is the brain of this immense underwater organism. Once a century, the Regent opens his eyes. They have no pupils, only endless star fields and formulas of a higher order. He surveys his domain, checking if the seals are intact and the lights remain lit. He is not a monster or grotesque. He is the loneliest prisoner in Earth's history. A man who refused to die with his kin, choosing instead to become the eternal custodian of their tombs. If you approach too close to the foot of his throne, you will feel not fear, but a deep, infinite melancholy. His slumber is so potent it begins to draw you in. You will feel as if your own feet are turning to stone, the hum of ancient machinery echoing in your ears. This is the price of presence. In Atlantis, you cannot remain just an observer. The abyss always claims a part of you in exchange for its secrets. Our time in this sunken world is coming to an end. The portal that brought us here begins to flicker. The light of the amber hall fades, and the sounds of the Colossi's hydraulic joints recede into the background, replaced by the familiar silence of your room. The ocean slowly begins to retreat, taking with it the taste of salt and old electricity. The pressure subsides, but remember, what we have witnessed today is not mere fantasy. It is a reminder of how fragile any civilization is, and how tenacious life is in its drive to adapt even to the deepest dark. Atlantis has not vanished. It has merely changed form, becoming part of the silence you hear when pressing a seashell to your ear. Now, as you return to your world, carry this stillness within you. Let the deep waters of the abyss soothe your anxieties, and let the rhythmic pulse of the sentinels become the rhythm of your breath. The creatures of the depths no longer frighten you, for now you know their names, their sorrows, and their secret service to eternity. Thank you for walking these sunken paths with me. Your presence brings these worlds to life. If this journey has helped you find peace, consider subscribing to our channel. Here, doors to other realities are always open, and new portals await their moment. Sleep well, traveler. May your dreams be as deep and magnificent as the ruins we have just left behind. Until the next gate opens, good night and farewell for now. Thank you for joining us in these depths. To not miss future journeys, subscribe to the channel. Many more worlds await us. Until next time.